U.S. Transportation and Security Administration John Pistol told an audience at the Aspen Security Forum that his number one concern for aviation safety was what he called non-metallic explosives. In other words, bombs that are difficult for traditional airport scanners to detect. Dina Temple-Raston, NPR News, Aspen, Colorado. At last check on Wall Street, Dow was down 133 points at 16,946. From Washington, this is NPR News. Family members of a man who died in police custody in New York City met today with federal prosecutors. They're pushing for an investigation into the death. Here's NPR's Joel Rose.
Eric Garner's wife, mother, and daughter attended a closed-door meeting at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn, along with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Garner died last week after an attempted arrest by police in Staten Island. A cell phone video shows a police officer placing Garner in what appears to be a chokehold. Garner can be heard in the video gasping, "I can't breathe." Sharpton is urging federal prosecutors to open a civil rights investigation.
And there can be no doubt that a chokehold was used with intent.
The Staten Island District Attorney has already launched a criminal investigation. One officer has been stripped of his gun and badge, and another has been placed on desk duty. Joel Rose, NPR News, New York.
President Obama has been hosting a gathering of heads of state from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador today to discuss ways to stem the surge of Central Americans who migrate illegally into the southern U.S. The administration is considering a pilot program through which young migrants would be screened in their own countries to determine if they qualify for refugee status. Tens of thousands of immigrants to arrive here in recent months have been unaccompanied minors. A New Jersey family is getting financial relief of seismic proportions after suffering losses when Superstorm Sandy rolled through in 2012. 19 members of the Anderson family will split a $20 million lottery jackpot. One of the siblings told reporters she forgot about the tickets for a couple of weeks before she decided to have them scanned at a local supermarket and got the surprise of her life. The family staking a lump sum payment of $14 million. This is NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from the Lemelson Foundation, supporting inventors and invention to improve lives in the U.S. and developing countries. On the web at lemelson.org.
You'd think with the markets doing so well, Wall Street would be rolling in the dough, huh? Yeah, you'd be thinking wrong.
For there to be trades, there have to be differences of opinion. Because somebody's got to think it's a good time to buy, and somebody else has to be thinking it's a good time to sell.
I'm Kyle Rinsdale. Trading volume speaks volumes. Next time on Marketplace from 8 p.m.
This evening at 6:30.
This is Science Friday. I'm Ira Plato. Pop quiz. What does WhiteHouse.gov have in common with Playboy.com? They both use a new type of online tracking called canvas fingerprinting. If you try to surf the web anonymously and you think you have nothing to be worried about because you block cookies, you have do not track turned on, you clear your cache, well, sorry. This new tracker can bypass all those privacy protections. So how does it work? And if regular privacy settings don't block it, what will? Julia Angwin is a senior reporter at ProPublica, and she published an expose on canvas fingerprinting there this week. She's also the author of Dragnet Nation, a quest for privacy, security, and freedom in a world of relentless surveillance. She joins us here in our New York studios. Welcome to Science Friday.
It's great to be here.
So what is canvas fingerprinting?
So canvas fingerprinting is a new way to sort of get around cookies. And basically, without you knowing it, a little canvas is drawn when you go to a web page, and a little image is drawn and sent back to the tracking company. And because each computer has different software or fonts or a time clock, they can tell that image looks a little different and allows them to uniquely identify you.
Of all the billions of computers, your computer makes a tiny little different, like a fingerprint, different image.
Yeah,
when it does that.
apparently. And it's not always true. There's some cases where it doesn't work. So on mobile phones, it apparently isn't as precise. But our desktop computers are apparently different enough to be able to be fingerprinted.
So that, it sends it back, this little photo, and there's a
Yep.
fingerprint, and now we know who you are, where you're going by tracing that.
We know, basically it just assigns an ID to you, just the way a cookie would. And then the next time they see that ID, they're like, oh, that's that guy again. And it works, by the way. If you're in incognito mode, this is still being transmitted.
So how do I block?
Well, it's not easy.
You're saying it can't be blocked.
No, you can if you go to sort of extraordinary lengths. So, for instance, the Tor web browser, which is a special web browser designed basically for people in China who want to avoid the Great Firewall. But you can use it. It's a special privacy-protecting browser, and it alerts you if a canvas fingerprint is trying to be taken and sends back a blank image. And then there are